SARS-CoV-2, also known as COVID-19, is a highly contagious and often deadly virus. This is an airborne agent entering human lungs through the nose and mouth, lodging in the bronchi and the lungs, and entering the body. Vaccines are now available, but these are expensive and require years before billions of people can be immunized. And there are billions of people which will probably never be immunized, because many countries cannot afford expensive vaccines. And additionally, these vaccines that are currently available may not be very effective against mutant forms, and humanity may have to be vaccinated again and again and again. Preventative measures against viral infections are very few. One can enforce economic shutdowns and strict social distancing. These are difficult to enforce. They cannot be sustained forever and only delay the pandemic spread. These are very, very sparse preventative measures. Here we will show that dietary iodine may allow some people to avoid becoming infected and may dampen the rate of COVID-19 transmissions. Dietary iodine, or iodide ion, is available to many and is cheap. It's available worldwide. There is a special protective mammalian enzyme called lactoperoxidase. This is extruded into human lungs and saliva. This catalyzes the oxidation of iodide in the presence of hydrogen peroxide into the products hypoiodite and hypoiodous acid. Both products are potent. They're non-specific antimicrobial agents and are lethal to the influenza virus. This has been shown. The mechanism by which lactoperoxidase and iodine ion destroys many types of viral invaders is understood in fine detail. This lactoperoxidase system is recognized as the very first line of defense against airborne viral infections. The human immune system really is the second line of defense. The three-dimensional structure of lactoperoxidase, of many different lactoperoxidases, and especially the lactoperoxidase coupled with iodine ion, has recently been shown that iodine ion binds at many sites to lactoperoxidase, including the active substrate binding site. This is highly specific and very strong evidence of the importance of this enzyme for producing lethal iodide. The COVID-19 infection rate is very low in Japan, despite being a densely populated island group, and has not enforced a strict lockdown. The typical Japanese diet is rich in seafood, including a lot of kelp and seaweed, and both of these are high in iodine. The average Japanese adult consumes about twice the iodine of the U.S. recommended daily allowance. That is, they imbibe more than 300 micrograms of iodide ion. But this is still way under the recommended upper daily limit of 1100 micrograms per day. There is an inverse correlation between iodine intake and COVID-19 infections. This is more than a correlation, but a causal relationship. This has been shown true in the past for treating influenza pandemics. In 1959, some states of India treated an influenza pandemic with iodine, and it was successful. Increasing the iodide content in mammalian airways has been shown to enhance the lactoperoxidase system performance and to kill invading viral agents. Both hypoiodite and hypoiodous acid are non-specific antiviral agents. They'll kill any influenza and all influenza viruses. The destructive activity is independent of the SARS-CoV-2 type, that is, independent of the mutation type. It is presently estimated that about 2 billion people worldwide suffer from iodine insufficiency. COVID-19 has decimated the elderly and institutionalized people. These people are typically diet deficient in iodine. That has been documented. Nothing is known about the age dependence upon lactoperoxidase activity. But what is known is that smokers are also hard hit by the coronavirus. And it turns out that carbon monoxide, a major gaseous constituent of cigarette smoke, binds to and inactivates lactoperoxidase. That has been shown. Here we propose a cheap method for containing COVID-19. We encourage nutritional and health professionals to consider recommending increasing iodine intake by all, by the liberal use of iodized salts and consumption of more seafood, including kelp and seaweed. Kelp and seaweed supplements can be distributed very cheaply and very rapidly from coastal areas inland on almost all countries. We hope that nutritionalists and epidemiologists will study this correlation, especially about areas close to the seashore, like Japan. Such preventative measures can be quickly instituted by every country, by all people, and especially by low-income nations. The positive effects of increasing iodine intake can be quickly observed. The long-term health effects of increasing iodine intake should not be serious, since the median longevity of the Japanese people is the highest of any industrial nation. The side effects of iodine overdose cannot be that serious, and it looks to be fairly difficult for a lot of people, to ingest too much iodide ion. I do not think this measure will eliminate the COVID-19 pandemic, but even a small decrease in the transmission rate can have an immediate and positive results for everyone. And here is a list of the references in my presentation. I'll leave this last slide on for more than a minute so you can write down the references that might interest you. Have a good life.